Good morning. How are you guys this morning? Okay. Okay, pin the next live show August 24th at 9 a.m. So that is Monday. Almost a whole week from now, but we got a lot going on this week. So who's here? Good morning. Amy, I see you. Good morning, Bill. Quilter. How are you guys? Okay. So what's today? Tuesday? Right? Yeah. I have no idea. I have been very busy pattern testing for Alyssa. I'm done, almost done. Well, I still have to submit my feedback. But I did a lot of foundation paper piecing the last few days, and I'm a little foundation paper pieced out. So I have to photograph that, and I have to finish typing out my feedback and submit that. And other than that, we have some stuff to get on the calendar for the store. So Ellie and I have a lot of computer work to hopefully get caught up on today. But I wanted to do a quick live with you guys this morning. Hey, Jeannie. Hey, Angela. And do some of these digital quilt tops. We have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 digital quilt tops that we are not going to use. I've either done something for myself out of this collection, or somebody in the store, it sold too fast, there was no point in quilting it up, what have you. So we have several digital quilt tops that have accumulated, and in another couple months we'll do this again when we get more that accumulate. In fact, I know one's arriving today, and I don't know if we're using that one, if we're kitting it up or not. So I do not necessarily know the names of these kits or patterns, but I know a lot of the fabric collections, so we're going to go through them. And then I have a little bit of thread for you as well today, sparkly thread. So do we want to start with thread, or do we want to get right into the digital quilt tops? Hey, Michelle. Hey, Tiffany. Good morning, everybody. Also, if you are local, Somerset County Fair is next weekend. This coming Saturday is drop-off day. So if you are entering anything into the fair, you need a fair book. There's a stack of them available at Dungus's Drive-In and at the coffee shop in town. I'm sure you can also go to the Somerset County Fair website. There's an entry form here. The categories for quilting, we went through it yesterday. There is a page and two whole pages of needlecraft categories. So I'm not sure what exactly I'm going to enter, but I'm going to put a couple things together and get it entered for Saturday. There's a purse category. I think I might put my cute little Figo taco purse in. There's a coat category, so I'm going to talk to Chrissy today about putting one of her coats in. So we'll see. But if you are in Somerset County, consider putting something into the fair. Drop off is this coming Saturday, the 22nd. Okay. So, good morning, howdy. Okay, so let's do the first quilt top. Let's just get right into it. I'm going to show it to you real quick. It is the Rhapsody one. It is, this is a digital top from Anna Maria Textiles. There you go. You can see it on the floor behind me. Oh, maybe this will work like this. I have them all laid out. Maybe we can do it this way. Center it. Okay, hold on here. Okay, so this is Rhapsody. It is a digital top of the quilt book that is, or quilt kit that is literally just being released. We are fulfilling orders today. 73 wide by 84 long. On a lot of these, the binding is printed right on this, and on a lot of them, they have the over yardage on it. So you're getting a bunch of this white yardage as well with it. Let me go ahead and hold Rhapsody up so you can see it. Again, this is a digital rendering, so you can come back in here and applique like it's an applique process. Or you don't have to, just throw it right on the long arm and be done with it. You could also chop this up to make things out of, curtains, who knows, whatever you want. You could line it. We do still have the fabric in the store for the binding. So if you wanted to recreate it, you could. So I'm going to go ahead and start the auction on this guy. I'm going to start it at $30. Like I said, he is 73 wide by 84 long. Gorgeous colors. It's all printed on there like it's applique, but you have to, there's no dimension to it. That means you could put multiple layers of batting in there and really puff it up if you wanted. This one does have all the white yardage on it. So it has edging on both sides and then a good bit on the bottom as well. So pretty. You guys are going for these? If you did not buy the kit, we cannot cut you another kit. We are all out. Amy, you won that. Congratulations, Amy. Yeah, we cut the last kit we could off of the floor, using up the last pattern and panel that we had. And all of the pre-ordered box kits are spoken for. So now we have yardage of Rhapsody in store now still. So the individual prints that are in here we do have. But those vases only existed on that panel and that vase is gone. But like that right there, that's what Bolts is wearing in his current collar. So congratulations, Amy. I'm going to set that one to the side. Give me just a second to put her name on that so we keep everything nice and straight. I'm going to let you preview the next one there. So that's the next one we're going to do. That is Halloween, okay? The Halloween is 60 by 70. It's got some very cool vintage styling to it. Great one for practicing free motion quilting on. So this is already trimmed. The white is trimmed off of it. So unfortunately, I'm not even going to be able to tell you the maker on this one. I do not know off the top of my head. We have this panel in store still, and we still have this yardage, but we were not able to get enough patterns. It was a purchase pattern, not a free one, even though this could be duped very easily. But we just didn't have a ton of patterns on it. So I think we only made up 3 kits, and there was no point in quilting him up and using the batting and the backing and the binding. That being said, backing binding still exists from this collection if you want to use it to match. So I'm going to go ahead and start the auction on this guy. Again, the size on this one is 60 by 70. I'm going to stand back a little bit so you can see the whole thing. Beautiful, fun vintage styling on it. Great to free motion quilts on that panel. It is not glow in the dark. It is just a nice bright white in the center. But honestly, it's actually a little ivory. Beautiful vintage styling. Okay, Amy, I'm going to put it in your pile. These make great donations if you need to have something on hand as a gift. Okay, let's preview the next one. Oh, there's a lot going on there because it's not as big as the one below it. So that next one is a Black Christmas, okay? Black Farm Christmas, 66 by 83. We still have this line in store as well. This is Farmhouse Christmas with the black background. It is, like I said, 66 by 83. Cute vintage farmhouse border. Some stars and then some block panels in there. We do have this as a kit in the store, but here it is ready to go. So let's start this one. We're going to start, he's a little bit smaller. We're going to start him at 25, okay? He is 66 by 83. 66 by 83, Still a great size to throw on a bed even at Christmas if it's a small bed in your guest room. Plenty big to have on the couch. It doesn't scream Christmas, so it can kind of stay out if you want it all winter. Okay, Quilter 0802. I do not know your name, so let me write that name down on the tag so I don't get confused as to who got that. And then I'm assuming you got a lot of you that have tuned in today are long armers. So I'm going to share a long arming tip for you. I do not pre-iron my stuff a lot of times. Sometimes if it's a top with a lot of seams, I'll press the seams. Don't get me wrong. I'll press that good. But if it's something like this, I use a handheld steamer and I steam it as I put it on the long arm. It cuts down a whole step. You're not picking up dog hair from the floor or anything like that as you're ironing. Okay, so hold on, let me write this name down. I also will steam the backing as I put it on. I can't be bothered to press 108 wide back. It just takes too long, and then it gets on the floor and picks up threads. Okay, this next one, whew, it's a doozy. You can see why we never kitted it. Who wants a 90 by 90 carousel? I know, right? This is Art Gallery. And honestly, my suggestion on this one, unless you really love this and want this as a quilt, is that this is a really good candidate to just use as a tapestry for a child's birthday party backdrop. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's doing a circus theme, look how big it is. You could just hang that on the wall for a photo booth or something like that. You know what I mean? For a kid's birthday party. It is just huge, and this a massive, massive, massive amount of dead space unless you really want to play with your quilting and something. Now, that being said, there are whole cloth quilt categories in every single quilt show, including the fair, that if you wanted to play with this, you could really impress people. So, let me go ahead and run this guy. Like I said, he's huge. His size is 90 by 90. Oh, hold on. Did we run the wrong one? Nope. Digital Quilt Top Circus. Okay. I'm going to, recommend that you don't even use him as a quilt top. He's so darn big because the amount of backing and batting you would need on him. You could, of course, cut him apart for other things. But I think he'd be fun if you were doing a carousel or circus themed party. He'd be a great tapestry, a backdrop, a photo booth, prop, something like that. That's kind of like an ivory color to the backdrop, in case you're wondering. But something like this, I definitely wouldn't iron ahead of time. I would just steam it as I put it on. So nobody wants the giant carousel? It's very specific. Very, very specific. Beth. Oh, hey, Beth. How are you? Now I know who it is. I'll see your name on the checkout screen. I just don't know from here. And this one has been trimmed. Okay. Looks like it ended. We'll move on to the next one. Okay. I'm going to write Beth on your tag, though, just so I don't lose that. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the next one there. This can be used for Quilts of Valor. It's large enough, and Quilts of Valor does not have a rule against using whole cloths. So, this can be a very quick Quilt of Valor donation. It is, I want to say from Northcott, but don't quote me on that. We sold out of it very quick, of course, with the America 250. Very appropriate. The size on this guy, hold on, let me cross him out. 76 by 88, and he does still have his white around him. So, let me pull him up. Also, just let me, before we run the next auction, in case you're not aware, on your screen, you should have a little icon of a wallet. If you click on that, you can choose in-store pickup instead of shipping. Also, you should subscribe to the next live up there, August 24th at 9. And if you're saying it won't let me bid, it won't let me bid, you may not have entered any sort of payment information. So you can watch and stuff, but unless you've actually put some sort of payment information, you're not going to get to bid on things. So take care of those things. If you need to go to the wallet real quick and do in-store pickup so you don't get charged. If you get charged shipping, I can refund it if you message me before we get the labels and everything created. Okay, so the patriotic one next. This is, like I said, 76. Whoops, I moved the one below it. Hold on. Okay. Oh, he's a big one. Okay, so we're gonna start this. Oh. 76 by 88, which is large enough to use for Quilts of Valor. Also, if you wanted to make like a patriotic quilted coat, what a great candidate to chop up and use. We also do have this panel in store. So the center is a panel that's not piecing from the original kit. We do have that panel in store. Okay. Quilter. Beth, you won that again? Okay, Beth, I'm putting this one in your pile. Okay. Oops. Tag. Okay. Let's do a little bit of thread and then we will go back to doing the last 3 panels. Okay. I am going to show it to you first and then we'll run the auction. This is a set of 5 threads. This is Yament embroidery thread. So these were, people would goo and gaga for this thread when it was in the Thomas Kincaid kits and when it was in Santa's eyeglasses and stuff like that in the OESD Santa kit. So we got in some of these threads and on their own they've never sold. You do have to slow down your machine when you use these. They were originally $9.99 a spool. We are starting this auction at $10 for 5 spools. 2, 3, 4, 5. You are getting in this first bag, the first bag we are doing silver, coral, like an aqua, a green, and a ivory. So I'm going to go ahead and start the auction. We do have a couple bags of this stuff. It is beautiful stuff, but it can be a little finicky. So slow down your machine when you go to use it. There's some pretty colors in there. Yament. So it's a nice quality, very nice quality. And OESD puts these in some of their kits sometimes. Deb. Okay, we have 5 more of these. We do have a couple more of these. Deb won it, so let me put your name on this one, Deb. So Deb, if you were curious, I'm going to show you one more time your colors. You got silver, coral, aqua, like a green mermaid color, and then an ivory. And so here's the next bag. This one has a gold, a true silver, a kind of like aqua again, that like mermaidy green, and then a purplish color. Okay, so let's go ahead and run that one. There it goes. Same deal. They were originally $10 a spool. You're getting 5 spools in this bag. We want to get it out of here before it has a chance to go bad so somebody uses it. It's something very specific, so unless you have a plan for it, or you have very good thread storage out of sunlight, but it is a great pretty color to add a little bit of something extra. Would be pretty to top stitch on some clothing or do some top stitching on like your bags with this. Also, it's fun to add just a little bit of color or sparkle in some of your, putting that in your pile, like your embroidery. Tula Pink, all of her stuff has embroidery. So just think like Legendary, the dragons, the phoenix and stuff in that with some of these. I got something in my eye, I'm sorry. Okay, so this next one, I'm going to pull them out so you can see. Oh, hold on one second. I got something in my eye. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to show you these. These are two of the same like aqua color, just gorgeous. This is that like mermaidy color. It's much more green purple in person. And then that coral is just beautiful. So let's do that one. He is started. Go ahead and bid on him. And then we will do the last few quilt tops behind me. I still have something in my eye. So what does everybody have planned for today? Patchwork Deb, a few seconds left. Anybody else? Okay. Deb, I'm going to put, yeah, work. You see where I am, Michelle? Okay. Deb, I'm putting your name on that. Oh, hold on. This is Patchwork Deb, and we have a Deb B. Cute, guys. Keep me on my toes. First one, Deb B. Okay. Quilt top. Next one up is Santa. Let's show you him. He is Coca-Cola Santa. 54 wide by 71 long. We were only able to do 3 kits, although we do still have the panel and fabric in store. We just didn't have enough patterns to keep cutting. You could also duplicate this or do a version of it yourself. This is just so sweet. It is very good vintage Santa. Like I said, we do have the fabric in store, like if you want to grab that binding to match it. So let's go ahead and pull him up. And let's run him. Okay. Starting him at $30. He's super collectible. Let me tell you, the guys went nuts for this. Every single one that sold, it sold to a husband and wife where the man was like, I heard her talking or heard her watching and you said Santa Coca-Cola, and so we came down to get it. I'm telling you, we were gone on the 3 kits in a few days. So if you have a man on your list that you don't know what to make for Christmas, this is perfect. Apparently all the men like Santa, Coca-Cola Santa. My teenage son is a huge Coke fan. That sounded bad. Coca-Cola fan. And he wanted it, but I was like, no, I'm not going to get it quilted in time for you, and you already have other requests. So this one went to Deb B. Congratulations, Deb. It'll make a great gift for somebody. Let me put this in your pile. And then let me go ahead and let you start previewing that next one. I think that's the one a lot of people are excited about. I debated about letting that one go, but I'm never going to get to it, guys. The one below is an art gallery. It's technically a Le Mans star, or I'm not sure because there's the sashing spaces in between. See that? So I don't know if that changes what it's technically called. If you know, tell us in the comments. This is Art Gallery Christmas, and it has a lot of blender fabric in it, so we were never going to cut this kit. It's too big. I mean, you're talking significant yardage for this background. That being said, he's a true statement piece. The only Christmas about it is there are some skates and some ornaments and some candles. So I'm going to pick that up and show it to you up close. But there's nothing about this that couldn't live on your bed all winter for sure. Now remember, just because you don't have to have a long arm. You can pay us to long arm a digital sample for you. I just wasn't going to get to this one myself. So he's absolutely huge. Let me bring him in here just to show you some of the fabrics that you're getting in there. This is Art Gallery. So these match printed Art Galleries. We have some of these in store. So like this would be great binding, and we have that in store. There's the candles and the ornaments. You get to the center and you're going to get the ornaments there. See that? And the candles around it. So the size of this one is 94 by 100. Okay? Whew. He's a big one. We're going to start him at $35 and he's live. This would be great to make quilt coats out of, because once you chop it up, you can't really tell. It's also big enough to actually use on your bed, which is phenomenal. He's just lovely. How often are you actually going to make a giant star? Come on, let's be honest with ourselves. But what a great way to have one done. Also, a great one to submit for whole cloth quilting. You know, this is a one that would be a statement hanging, and so you submit that to a show in the whole cloth category, you're going to walk away, as long as your quilting's decent. Okay, so it looked like it went to Michelle. I kind of thought it might. Feels like your style, Michelle. Okay, I'm going to fold this up better later in a minute. Let me make a name tag for that one, and let's look at the last one down there while we do. Okay, so this last one is also an art gallery. It is 90 by 90. It is a collection we have in store. So if you wanted to get the binding for it, you certainly could. I do believe the binding is this green. You could also get the backing for it, and the statement is this gorgeous peacock in the collection, and it's not actually used in the quilt top. So that would be an amazing one to put on the back. Okay, so I'm going to pick this up, and then we're going to run the auction on this guy. So he could be done that way, or there's nothing that says you can't run it this way too. Changes the look. Definitely big enough to put on your bed. Let's see, the size is 90 by 90. Let's go ahead and run this one while I show it off to you. Okay. And we're going to start him. Again, like we said, we have all of these. This is not any specific coloration, theme. It's just florals and geometric, so it works in a bedroom. Very pretty. Like I said, we have this fabric in store, so if you wanted to bind it in that green or in that bright pink or the aqua, whatever you want, definitely big enough for a bed. We can have it long-armed for you by your favorite backing. Okay, Michelle A won that one. Good job, Michelle. Perfect. Not that you don't have enough in your to-do pile, but you can work on this winter. It's a good snowy day project. Okay. So we're going to take almost a week off here. We won't be back on until, what's the date up there? August 24th. So that's next Monday. Ellie's out of town. She's going on vacation. I'm getting my kids ready for back to school. We just got a lot going on, so I didn't have time to schedule too many other lives. Oh, I have one more thing of thread. So let's do the last thing of thread real quick. And then we'll let you guys go. Okay, this one again is a set of 5. It looks like we have a blue, aqua, true gold, ivory, and coral. Again, these are those beautiful metallics, gorgeous metallics, originally $10 a spool. You're getting the whole set of 5. Patchwork Deb. I'll put it in your pile, Patchwork Deb, unless anybody else snatches it. These are so pretty. Okay, I'm putting that in your pile. Thank you guys for joining us. We had a great morning. Again, turn on the notifications for August 24th. Mine will be in store pickup by Deb. Okay. Let's see if there's any other notes I need to see before I log off here. No, I think I see all of the notes. You have a great day too, Michelle. Don't work too hard. Okay, so we will see you Monday the 24th, or of course, if you're a regular follower, tomorrow, Wednesday at 5 on Facebook for that live. Okay, so have a great week.